Hi, everybody. I'm Bryan Mudd, fan of South Plains politics. Here's your talking points for this week. We fared better than the rest of the state with power and water last week, but Lubbock's about to join the problem grids. A closer look at what we're getting into and what not to do if you choose to be a public servant and then decide you can't handle the public's problems.
From the studios of KAMC Television in Lubbock, your local election headquarters. This is Talking Points with Bryan Mudd.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Also this week, a bad look. You ever looked at certain politicians and thought maybe they ought to listen to their advisors a little more? Timing and visuals really are everything there. First, Governor Greg Abbott speaking on Lubbock TV about the state's electricity problems, saying the state's main power provider, ERCOT, blew it during the big freeze, but then goes on Fox News and says it was the fault of dozens of frozen wind turbines and the Green New Deal. He backed off that statement, but a bad look. And then there's Texas Senator Ted Cruz leaving for family vacation in Mexico this week when so many were still in the dark and cold and without water. He turned around and came back, but not great timing there either. Should Mr. Cruz have been spotted putting food and water into boxes for people somewhere? Absolutely. But you know, the truth is he really doesn't have much of a direct role to play in this because Texas leaders chose to remove most of the state from the federal power grid years ago. It's a state leadership issue, and angry Texans have a lot of questions for leaders of the very poorly named Electric Reliability Council of Texas. Here's KAMC's Wes Rappaport.
What are they doing about it? That question from Anna in Abilene applies to getting the power back on now and accountability for what happened later. The power grid manager for Texas is ERCOT, a 501c4 nonprofit. Its 15-member board of directors answers to the Public Utility Commission.
We are as anxious and committed to finding answers to this challenge as much as anyone is.
That commission is appointed by the governor, who is initiating an investigation into ERCOT.
It is kind of opaque, the way that it runs. It's not transparent.
ERCOT also answers to the Texas legislature.
Frustration, disappointment.
In addition to hearings starting next week to look into what led to widespread power outages, legislators are mulling changes to state law.
Let's take care of people right now, take care of our neighbors, our friends, get the power back online, and then, and I'm not saying there doesn't need to be a day of reckoning, but that reckoning needs to start probably next week in terms of trying to figure out what happened and how we make sure this doesn't happen ever again in the future.
For now, Anna and lawmakers are in the dark.
I don't care whether you're very rich or very poor, we need heat.
ERCOT's board chair called for a virtual meeting next Wednesday to address the statewide power problems. That's a day before ERCOT leadership will be grilled by House lawmakers at a committee hearing. At the Capitol, I'm Wes Rappaport.
All right, Wes, thank you so much. Let's bring in Lubbock State Senator Charles Perry to talk about this. I've got a ton of questions. This is complicated, we know. So let's get to what we can here. We know that hearings with ERCOT leadership are scheduled to start in Austin later this week. What kind of tools do you have at your disposal as lawmakers just to make changes that might be necessary here?
Well, that's a good question. We start the 25th. BNC, and I just saw where jurisprudence is going to have its own hearings on ERCOT and legalities. First of all, this conversation's gone on ever since I've been in the session with respect to, do we have enough capacity? Do we need to build out capacity? And is that something the legislature needs to fund, or how would that be done? That conversation is obviously going to be at the front and center of some of the conversations coming up. It's expensive. It probably would be minimum impact to consumers. And I think arguably you can make a fair argument that we need more capacity in the sense that we pulled 20,000 megawatts offline the last 10 or 15 years over what I call politics and renewables and other things at a time when we're adding people. So we're adding demand and we're pulling down capacity. Secondly, the underlying subsidies in the renewables, and I'm not anti-renewable, I think there's a place for every bit of it. But when you have a market that's artificially changed, you literally are having a grid that's buying power from renewables because of subsidized revenues that distort the market. So it makes those expansions of capacity even more expensive. This issue had so many. First of all, it was a 254 county event. Probably not enough capacity to build out to be able to mitigate the impact of a 254 county event. Secondly, we had our inputs froze, i.e. gas lines. We need to look to how the north of the country doesn't have frozen gas. Winterization is going to be those conversations. We also need to understand that coal, which is the 20 megawatts of power, 20,000 megawatts that we pulled offline, doesn't care how cold it is. So if we do have the conversation about expanding capacity, and that, to me, it's cheap bond money. You can do 20 to 30-year extensions at very cheap money and build out this grid to where it needs to for capacity. We still need to address the winterization, but it's got to be in an environment of fuel, i.e. coal, and we can burn clean coal, but they became unfeasible economically because of regulatory requirements by the feds. We got to have the conversation. I'm not for building out capacity with stuff that won't work when it gets cold.
The governor took some heat from the comments about the wind and solar on Fox News, and he tried to back off that a little bit. But, you know, wind and solar do get state and federal subsidies, which make it a little harder for natural gas and coal, I guess, to want to operate at certain levels. I guess what I'm asking here is, did the coal and gas operators in this situation say, look, I'm not producing more because it costs too much, go get it from the other guys?
Yeah, it's a little more complicated than that when you have the renewables doing what we love them to do, and that's turned with effectively no cost energy. The citizens of the state get about $1 billion underwriting of energy cost when they're working. They don't work when it's 0 and 20 degrees. What happens when you get that free cost of energy, it undermines the entire grid ability to feasibly build out capacity under a coal fuel. So when you lose the most dependable plant you have because you have an artificial form of energy that receives cost or zero cost because of subsidized, you distort the market of being able to build out energy capacity where it will always be at least profitable to the extent that it needs to maintain. So I'm not an anti-renewable. Somewhere in this mix, there's always a way to make solar and wind work, and it works well for us, but somewhere in this, we've got to figure out, we can't let that be the distortion that prohibits the generation plants that can subsidize or that are not subsidized being non-profitable or non-economical where they're not justified from a business model. We need smaller plants.
Yeah.
We can put 190 megawatt footprints all over the grid at a minimum cost and have them kind of geographically isolated from weather events and make that work. It's not a hard problem to fix. It's just a decision to fix it.
Could ERCOT leaders have said before all this, look, we see every weather forecast in the state saying this, let's crank up the power generation here and check on keeping those generators from freezing up. I know that sounds simpler than it really is, but could that have happened? Did they just drop the ball here?
Yeah, I think if I had to point to a couple of things that were probably preventable, our grid shut down to a blackout level versus a brownout level. My basic understanding of engineering, we could have brought the coal plants back on the week before when they put out the warning this was going to be a major storm event. Get ready, get prepared. At that point, a week before, had they started back up those coal plants that were offline, and SPS does a good job. They call it spinning. They don't ever take them completely down. They took them offline, but they could put them back online within 48 to 72 hours. Had the grid, ERCOT, put those offline coal plants back online for the week prior, we would have never saw the blackout. We would have probably had brownouts. Just to be clear, we are fortunate in this part of the state that we are not in that grid today because in my district, SPS customers were minimally impacted. A ERCOT customer saw their power out 30 to 60 hours. That said, our southern part of our state, our urban areas, the Houstons, the Austins, they're already subjected and aware and already understand that there'll be brownouts in the summer. We don't see them up here. So ERCOT already has a history of having to offload demand during peak seasons, be it summer or otherwise, already in this state. We just don't see that up here on the plains because we're not in the grid.